Canceling plans, will be gone by week's end. Contact the family and the old friend. Ready to show you how to fly. You could just call me now, 'cause I wanna go. I'm tired of waiting for you to be ready to find out how this journey will unfold. And we can take it slow. You've got all your life to see what you want to see. Feeling like hanging from a great cliff, or an old branch that's gonna break it. I don't get down, I start to ghost it. If only I'd ever learned to fly. You should just call me now, 'cause I wanna go. I'm tired of waiting for you to be ready to find out how this journey will unfold. Yeah, we can take it slow. You've got all your life to see what you want to see. Can't wait to see your face and know it. Can't wait to hear your voice pass your lips. Can't wait to watch you as you're growing. Ready to show you how to fly. You should just call me now, 'cause I wanna go. I'm tired of waiting for you to be ready to find out how this journey will unfold. Yeah, we can take it slow. You've got all your life to see what you want to see.
Yeah! Yeah!
Canceling plans, will be gone by week's end. Contact the family and the old friend.
Recorded live from the engine room in Broad Ripple, this is the Voices of Indy livestream hosted by Josh Gillespie. Voices of Indy is a show dedicated to giving you the opportunity to know the musical, visual, and theatrical arts of Indianapolis, Indiana. This week's guest is Americana singer-songwriter Aaron Lucas, who performs under the name American Beech. And today's episode is sponsored by Indianapolis Independent Entertainment. IIE LLC's goal is to help grow local DIY artists, freelancers, and businesses within Indianapolis and generate more paying creative opportunities. Their mission is simple: to establish a network of creatives who excel in areas of need and connecting them with other network members. This way, they can help to expand the local art and music scenes. IIE believes that by eliminating some of the intimidating barriers within the entertainment industry, more opportunities will be produced for local freelancers and businesses. This will help Indianapolis become the place to go for arts and music in the Midwest. If you are interested in learning more, go to their website, indyindie.com, indyindieent.com. That's INDYINDIEENT.com, and fill out a free application to discuss how you and IIE can redefine making it together. And again, I want to welcome my guest this week, Mr. Aaron Lucas, American Beech. How you doing, sir? Great. That's fantastic. And a plug for Beer Brewery. Hold on. Let's get this back over here. Beer Brewery, because Mr. Lucas brought some wonderful beer. Easy Crush from Beer Brewery.
Yeah.
It is a delightful taste.
If you invite me for a chat, we're gonna have beers most likely. So
Fantastic. Then I'm going to have you over more often.
let's do it. Let's do
We
it.
absolutely should. So, for those who may not be as familiar with your work, I know you've been playing out lately. You recently had a gig at the Melody Inn. I believe that was last month.
Yeah.
And you've been performing solo and with a band.
That's right.
But tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Aaron Lucas? Who is American Beech?
Yeah. So it's really kind of a comeback for me. I've played in Indy for a long time in a band called the Dapper, with a friend named Dan Porter. He's still active in the music scene around here as well, and he plays drums for me on American
really?
Beech. So we've
Okay.
stayed connected the whole time. But way back when we moved here after both going to Ball State, we stayed connected and played music. And really a couple of years before the pandemic, we kind of called it quits. And then the pandemic kind of just kept us from reviving anything. And so we were coming out of that early last year and late 2021, I just started feeling the itch that I really wanted to play again. And had been writing these songs for years, like a lot of songwriters who just felt like they had all these years to write and no outlet. So I was just ready and ultimately started doing it solo. And my buddies Dan and Mark, who play guitar and drums for me right now, when we play as a band, we had been kind of off and on playing and hanging out, and they knew I wanted to get going again, but we weren't really ready to play. So I just started doing like farmers markets and playing any
Really?
place that would have me. Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Got in touch with the farmers markets. That is a harder gig than people give it credit for, just
Really?
because of the length. So the
How long
Broad
is-
Ripple
how-
Farmers Market, you play for 4 hours. It is
Whoa.
yeah.
You
It
played the
is
entire time? I did
8
not
to
realize
noon.
that.
I mean, you can take a break, but
Sure,
like,
but 4 hours, that's
Yeah.
a long set.
so all of a sudden I was like in it again. I
Yeah.
was having to learn all these covers, and I got another plug. I'm going to plug all kinds of stuff tonight.
Plug everything,
I got
man.
this app called Setlist Helper. I don't know if you've heard of it. So
I
you can put
no.
your songs in there on a tablet or on your phone,
Sure.
and it'll scroll the lyrics for you. Because like as much as me, when you're remembering songs, lyrics is like the first thing that goes usually.
Oh yeah, well they never stick with me. I'm
Oh my
like
gosh.
I've always likened myself to, and this is a big comparison, so I don't mean it I am not comparing myself to Michael Stipe. But one thing,
Yeah.
but Michael Stipe from REM, that he never memorized his lyrics. He always had a music stand up there.
Yeah.
And in fact, I remember there was one story that he had that they actually had to buy the book of they hadn't played they hadn't played like a certain song in
Yeah.
years, and they actually had to go buy the book,
They had to go buy their own
own
song.
material,
Oh my gosh.
so that they could get the lyrics to the book. So no, I am totally with you on the like I need the lyrics with me all the time.
Yeah. I mean, all of a sudden, I was getting these huge rehearsals in to be able to do these farmers markets, and started telling Mark and Dan, like, I'm feeling good again. I'm playing for hours every week to get ready for these Saturday gigs. And so we started playing again, and yeah, it just all kind of has snowballed from there. I was lucky enough to connect with you all at IIE and
Yeah,
check out the show a little while back. It was November, maybe October.
it was
Yep.
September.
September?
Actually,
Was it that
the
far?
acoustic sounds of Indy.
That's right.
That's where we first met.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was when I connected with you all, and it just has been real fun to kind of start down that path again and find places to play. So yeah, really enjoying I guess the camaraderie of the music scene right now. I think it's really good. It just seems like a lot of people are coming out of the pandemic ready to do it again, you know?
I would agree. There has been like I don't know what people know what to do with it,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. There seems to be so much bubbling out,
Yes.
and the energy is palpable.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell that from the bands that I got coming in here
Yeah.
doing this. It's like they're excited to be out there. People are excited to be in the clubs, in the different venues,
Yeah.
seeing live music.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's great for the city, and it's great, obviously great for the bands.
Yeah. I think if anything now, the call is really like, let's find more places for folks to play. That's the
Mhm.
part that I feel like hasn't quite caught up yet,
Mhm.
where the little mom and pop shops start doing their acoustic sets on days when they need entertainment, and you start going to random pubs in the city and seeing live music more again. Like,
Mhm.
I feel like that's going to be the next step, is you'll start to see more people offering those live gigs.
My hope is that we get a lot of these people enjoying not so much cover bands.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I don't
As
mind
much
covers.
as I
don't.
enjoy the
Yeah,
4-hour farmers market gig, like
sure. I
you
love
just
playing
heard me
covers.
saying, that's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, covers, lead me to learning how to write different songs,
Mhm.
honestly, at the end of the day. But, you know, when I'm going to see somebody, I want to see
Yeah,
them.
that's true.
I want to see them perform. So, but I got to ask, what covers do you play?
Oh man. I mean, if there's, like I said, the farmers market list of covers that I'll put in quotation marks, no, because again, I
Yes.
have the help of the app, so I'll be honest. But some of my favorites have really just come from looking at the songs that I've been listening to for the last several years, and playing sort of my favorite versions of them. I
What you've
really
been listening
like,
to?
yeah, I really like the band Dawes. I really like
They're great.
the Avett Brothers. I
Mhm.
really like, that's a big sort of genre mishmash that I like. You mentioned Americana. I
Mhm.
definitely feel like I fall into that vein. I dip more folky and bluegrass
Sure.
sometimes, and
Okay.
then I go
Yeah.
more rock and roll sometimes. So I think
Well,
that's a
that's
good
Avett.
mix.
That's
Yeah,
kind of an Avett vibe.
definitely. Um, and I try to go to some different time periods every now and then too. So
Oh, really?
this last Saturday, I played at the downtown farmers market
Mhm.
over at the Amp, and got to play Sam Cooke, a Sam Cooke tune, which
We
is
did go back, but that's good.
yeah, R&B is a really fun genre for me to kind of put a folky spin on.
Mhm.
I played some 80s tunes. What was the one that got a comment? Um, well, I won't think of it now that I've
Of
put
course,
myself
when
on
you're
the
putting,
spot.
yeah.
But I try to kind of pull from all the different eras that I think other people will enjoy too.
Mhm.
Because if I'm gonna play covers, I might as well play ones that other people know. If I
Mhm.
play all the obscure stuff from my Spotify list that I like, but 5 people in the crowd know, then that's going to defeat the purpose of doing a cover, I feel like.
I see that now. That's where we're totally opposite. I
But
want to dive deep into the well of some artist catalog.
you want to play
And
something where people are like, "Hey, was that your tune?" And you're like, "Nope."
nope, I
Yeah.
do. I don't know. There's something about that. It's like everyone's expecting you to play Oasis, and you're gonna play Wonderwall, and
I've never played Wonderwall. I feel like I get
I
bonus points for
sadly,
that.
I'm guilty. I have played Wonderwall, and the whole bar was singing.
Sure,
So
of
I
course they
mean,
were.
that was a great. That was a great
My
thing.
Wonderwall is Wagon Wheel. When I want people to sing along, I'll play Wagon Wheel,
Hmm.
and that usually gets a crowd of folks at least singing the chorus. So
Nice, nice. Now I'm definitely a deep cut fan.
I like it.
I like getting into deep cuts, even if it's a deep cut from a greatest hits album.
Hmm.
Like I did one gig where I would play Pineapple Head.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
By the same band. Now I'm gonna forget the name of the band. That
I
doesn't
passed
help.
it on to you. I passed on my.
He did. Crowded House.
Oh yeah.
That's
Okay.
it. So I mean, when you think Crowded House, it's Don't Dream It's Over.
Yep.
That's probably all you think of.
Yep. Also a good song,
It's
but
a great song.
yeah.
But you're not thinking Pineapple Head. Well, it's on their greatest hits album.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna play it because my wife likes it and she likes Crowded House.
There you go.
So I know one person would like it and sing along.
Yeah. I mean, well, if you know your wife is going to be at the show, you always play at least one tune that was like they asked you to play.
Sure.
That's a given.
That's true.
My wife's a huge Decemberists fan.
Nice.
I do like the Decemberists, but I
Yeah.
probably would not play it in my set if she wasn't there. So
Well, they're some of their stuff is not easy.
No, yeah.
I mean, lyrically with the way that they're that it moves with the music. It can
Yeah.
be. Colin Malloy kind of has his own way of going about things.
He's a lyricist who, man, if you want to talk about forgetting lyrics, like he writes lyrics that you'd have to really try
Mm-hmm.
to memorize because they are not cliche in the slightest. So
No, definitely not. Definitely not. So, what else are you? Well, I guess when you are working on your music, what is your inspiration? What are you listening to? How do you go about it? Because I mean, I know what my process is.
yeah,
But what's your process for writing music?
I think at this point I have sort of learned to listen to the like subliminal voice in the back of my head where, you wake up in the morning and have that random melody in your head. You don't necessarily know where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
I've sort of learned to tap into those random moments and just flesh them out as much as possible. I haven't sat down and said, okay, I'm going to write a song right now in this moment for a while because it always is like a random inspiration.
I'm going to call you out on that, but not right now.
Okay, fair enough. You
got-
mean because of the
Yes,
song?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, okay.
We'll come back to
You
that.
can call me out on it later. Even that though, like even when I say I want to write songs right now, I'm in a songwriting mode.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't really sit down with the goal of finishing a song in a moment very often. I feel like most of the time it's this random kind of subliminal melody or lyric line that kind of gets it rolling, and then I just kind of massage it from there until it sometimes takes weeks for the whole idea to come around.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
But I think because of that, it has made it very up and down. Like I'll go weeks where I'll write many songs, they'll just come
really?
quick,
Wow.
and then I'll go months without writing any. So
wow.
it's not a very dependable method of songwriting,
No.
but it has over the years allowed me to kind of keep a bench of songs. So I have I'm hoping to record a record this year. I've started working on the tracks that I want to fit on there. I've got like
Fantastic.
12 song record
Okay.
that I want to put out.
Yeah.
And I've still got a backlog of stuff that didn't make this one, So I think it has served me well in a sense that I always feel like I have good music to work on. I don't feel like I'm ever completely dry, but I do think there's going to become a moment where I'm going to wish I had a better songwriting method for, okay, it's time to write a song like right now. I need a song now.
Okay, so that's going to lead me to, we are in a group together.
Yeah.
Which we didn't know at first.
No.
The wonderful Nick Traeger has of Willis Miller and Friends.
Yep.
Has a songwriting group that he has put together that we are both in, and we have to come up with a song a week.
Yeah.
Just based on one or two words.
Yep.
It's very little.
I do like having the prompt. Admittedly, it's changed my method. Like you said, it's not how I typically write, where I get a very kind of purposeful shove in the direction of like, try this.
Yeah.
But I'm 2 for 2. I've got something out the first 2 weeks of the year. So
it's
we'll
been
see.
pretty good too.
We'll see how long I can keep it going. The last one was only a half song, but
I'm still going to count it.
Yeah.
I listened to it.
It was only like a minute and a half, but
I listened to it and I enjoyed what I heard.
Yeah.
And it made sense.
Yeah,
even
good.
If it was just, it kind of reminded me of one of those songs that you hear at the end of an album.
Where they keep it short, like on purpose.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Yeah. Like think of Counting Crows' Long December. Recovering the Satellites album. Like the very last track is like a minute and a half.
Yeah.
And it's just Adam Duritz and a piano, I think.
Yeah.
But
like this good idea that they weren't sure what to do with.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, to me that's what it sounded like.
Sure.
And
That makes sense.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. Maybe I'll leave it then. Maybe I won't revisit it.
I don't know. It's That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah.
There you got my 2 cents on your song, my feedback.
Thank you.
You got my feedback.
Thank you. The club is fun though, right?
It
I
is
love
absolutely fun.
Yeah.
It is absolutely fun, and I enjoy the fact that that we're given this opportunity to do something like this, because I don't know, songwriting for me has never been easy.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to be able to say that I can, I wake up in the middle of the night with a song in my head. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Yeah.
What happens is that I have to noodle around,
Sure.
and usually, and that's why for me the tune comes first before the lyrics ever do.
Sure.
And so what I am finding now, like for instance with this week's prompt, which is lights. So if anyone wants to write a song about lights, there you go.
Yeah,
But which is funny because, so when I'm totally going all over the place. So you need to pull up your mic a bit.
Oh.
Anyway, so when I write an album, so like I'm working on one now. I'm actually recording it here at the Engine Room. Big plug for the Engine Room.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so what I do though is I put together a playlist of songs that I find somewhat inspirational. Whether it's lyrically inspirational or melodically inspirational, or if there's like a certain sound in a certain song that I'm like, I like this. This is something that I want to go for.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that, I'll do something like that. But to get back to the whole prompt,
Mm-hmm.
I'm having to change things up a bit because I'm not as much of a position this week to write the tune first.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I can write a song, but will it actually end up just being a poem?
Well,
because will I have a tune?
That's what I was about to say. Like, I think that might be my favorite thing about the way that they've set this whole group up, is that from the beginning, there's this sort of mantra. You read the mission of the group, and it's like, write words, write on a different instrument that you don't usually play, right? Just write, just do something, because that really is sort of the flexing the muscle on a regular basis that you're trying to get. So I love that. I think that support in a group of that size, I think, is hard to come by.
It is. I mean, if I had to give one critique to the group, it would be like, okay, so where are we supposed to give the feedback? Is it in the text thread? Is it supposed to be leaving comments on the lyrics themselves?
Yeah. I think I remember Nick saying something like, message the person individually first, just to make sure that your feedback is wanted and doesn't come off as like a public critique. Which
that
is
makes
good
sense. No, that's good advice.
That's good advice. Yeah,
that is good advice. And now that we have everybody's information, that's going to make that a little bit more easy.
Yeah.
Well, what has been? We're only in a couple weeks into the year, but you've already had a couple of events where you've been playing.
Yeah.
What's it like to be able to get out, starting this year fresh? I mean, how are you approaching 2023 in terms of playing live music?
Yeah, I am firstly trying to make sure that that it's clear that I'm enjoying it. I think there's nothing more important when you go see a performer than understanding and feeling their enjoyment of what they're doing. And so ultimately, for me, I think that's been the thing I keep reminding myself over and over is have fun, and the rest of it will come. You'll practice, you'll rehearse, you'll do these gigs, and you'll get better and better. I tend to be a perfectionist, as most musicians are, and so I tend to get in my own head about maybe not doing it perfectly or exactly how I would want to. So I think that for me has been the like North Star right now, is just be excited and enjoy getting back to it, because that was the thing I was missing anyway. So, and it's connecting me with friends, new friends and old friends. It's just, I think I'm just trying to enjoy being a part of what's going on in the live music scene in Indy right now. So
yeah. Well, now I want to get to your songs. And tell us real quick which songs that you are going to be playing, because this seemed to work well with Angel Maker last week, And so we're going to play, we pre-recorded your songs.
Mhm.
We're going to play them both for our audience right now. Tell what are the names of the songs, and then we'll discuss them afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely. So you'll hear I Don't Know Why is the first song, and then Which Lines is the second tune right after that. So.
Okay. Excellent. Well, we will be right back, and we will take a break to listen to these songs from Aaron Lucas, American Beech.
1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know why I never let you know this. I don't know why. I'm just some guy who never made you notice. I don't know why. But it's all because of you. It's all because of you. That my heart's been on fire, and I feel the desire of my soul is in your hands. My soul is in your hands. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't know why I never let you know this. I don't know why. I want to chase you down and make you be mine. Make you be mine. But it's all because of you. It's all because of you. That my heart's been on fire, and I feel the desire of my soul is in your hands. My soul is in your hands. Whoa, whoa. I don't know why I never let you know this. I don't know why. So that song was called I Don't Know Why. This song is called Which Lines. I saw it once, that man he told me one night. He said, now son, don't let them put out your light. But you say to me, love my neighbor as I. Love myself, do to them what is right. I'll stake my claim to that. But you choose which lines to read.
I read it once, I never thought much about it then. Until I met those casting stones that they who stand. But you say to me, love my neighbor as I love myself, and do to them what is right. I'll stake my claim to that, while you choose which lines to read. I read it once, there in the book with my own eyes. I say it now, condemn the hate, stop all the lies.
And welcome back. We are with American Beech. You just heard I Don't Know Why and Which Lines from Aaron Lucas. Aaron, tell us about these songs.
Yeah.
They're very beautiful.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed listening to them and really kind of taking in your performance. Let's talk about I Don't Know Why first. What was going on in this song, and what was your inspiration behind writing this song?
Yeah, this is one of those, like, you look back on the time period when you were writing a song and you sort of realize, oh man, I wasn't in a super great place while I was writing that.
No, I get that. Yeah.
This one came in a time of particular, I guess you could say, self-loathing.
Oh.
I was feeling kind of down, and I sort of put that into a story about someone who was feeling rejected by a love, which is interesting because when I wrote this song, I was already happily married.
Sure.
Having, like, it wasn't, I sort of put myself as a character into that and used that story to kind of relay what I was feeling in other areas of my life. And so, yeah, it's really just about kind of feeling like not enough in that song, and feeling like you're giving as much as you can to, in the song's case, someone else, and it's not enough. So I think it's one of those tunes that it has a maybe darker lyrical content for me than it sounds.
Yeah.
It sounds really upbeat and fun, and I love that about it, that it sort of contrasts itself a little bit. But yeah,
No,
unrequited love, I guess, is the short answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I totally get that. And the following song.
Yeah, which lines? Maybe a little less subtle. And you and I have had a conversation very briefly about this too. So I grew up in a really religious home, and unlike some folks, I have some trauma from that.
Yeah.
And so
Understood.
ultimately, that song is about kind of the ways that I have dealt with some of that trauma as an adult. And it's sort of like calling out some of the things that I saw back when I was in those circles that I didn't agree with. This song sort of stems from my feelings as I was starting to leave religion and realize that it wasn't going to be a space that I would be able to exist in. So
Yeah.
I think ultimately that tune was a way for me to kind of call out what I saw as hypocrisy at the time, and the people
it was
that
probably cathartic as well.
Oh yeah, like all songwriting is. I think in that point, being able to articulate what I had been feeling for so long. Because I mean, I almost as soon as I went off to college at 18, 19, I started to kind of go away from the way I had been brought up, and
Sure.
started to realize that none of that was really working for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me another 10 years,
Really, that long
almost
to kind of
almost
work that
15,
through.
to articulate that
Wow.
song. So
I get that.
it definitely, that one I think is meaningful to me every time I sing it, because it's
Mhm.
been this sort of lifelong battle with dealing with those feelings.
Mhm.
So
No, that's deep. That's I hear that in the kind of the pain and the calling things out.
mm,
Um, it's I do that with my stuff as well. I mean,
yeah,
you know, from a different perspective, but I mean, I get it. I completely get it. Wanting to call out the hypocrisy that you see, and wanting to just kind of deal with these feelings that you have that you've been having for so many years, and just trying to articulate that in a particular way.
yeah,
And it's like when it finally happens, it's like the spigot just opens and you can just write and write and really kind of lay your heart out there and express yourself in the way that you've been wanting to.
yeah. I definitely, like, those two songs both, actually, I would say they are both at least 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a journey of kind of shaping and editing and trying different versions of them to
Oh,
get them to
really?
where they are, now, to where I feel like they are complete.
They're their own.
Yeah, I'm the type of songwriter, though, that really struggles with being finished with songs.
Oh, really?
I will, if I'm not careful, just perpetually change things. I will change the time signature. I will
Seriously?
go double time, half time, try everything to try to see what a song sounds like.
Wow.
If I let it go long enough.
Sure.
So I don't know why, in particular, Mark and Dan, the guys I play with, could
Mhm.
attest. Was very different even a year ago.
Really?
We were rehearsing it, not really digging it, and I was actually on the fence about keeping it in the lineup and moving forward with it. And I rewrote it as a folk tune and love it now.
Mhm.
So it's just interesting how that different perspective can change it.
Sure. How deep is your catalog? I mean, that you're able to play live on, you know, a fairly consistent basis.
Yeah, I mean, we have myself. I probably have an hour to an hour and a half
Nice.
of original music that I can
That's
play
incredible.
at any given time. Yeah. I think as a band, I think we're at a really comfortable 45 minutes. If we have to
Nice.
play more than that as an ensemble, we have to get together and really think about it.
Sure.
What's gonna come in. But
Sure. That's not nothing to sneeze at.
yeah, I still credit the farmers market gigs, man. There is nothing like being forced to play in front of people for hours on end that will build your chops. So if
Mhm.
anybody wants the contact to the Indianapolis farmers market folks, I'll let you know.
I might.
They're all very great, and they've been gracious to keep me coming back. So
That's incredible. And we have a joint venture coming up. A quick plug, not that you can get tickets for it yet,
Mhm.
but I believe I put my phone away. I think it's February 17th.
17th,
Yeah.
Friday.
Friday, February 17th at Porter Books and Bread. We'll be playing the Coffee, Comedy, and Music Tour. And you, me, and Rollo Brand,
Yeah,
I believe, are the artists that night. And I'm super stoked and excited for this.
yeah,
So, I mean, to be able to share a stage with you and to see you perform live, I'm really looking forward to that.
thanks, man. Yeah, looking forward to getting to meet Rollo as well.
Yeah.
I love getting put on a bill with a band I've not met before, so I get to do
Me
a little
too.
homework ahead of time and check them out and then go meet them. So
Yeah, now I know what I'm going to be listening to on Spotify.
yeah.
I mean, and that's what I love about what my Spotify has become, not just because of this podcast, but now it's like if I'm on Spotify, I'm only listening to local bands.
Yeah, that I think, isn't that really cool? That I remember when Spotify first started, I was kind of a detractor.
Mhm.
I still am in some senses.
Oh, sure.
But
Yeah, no.
ultimately, what Spotify and the digitizing of music has done that I think is really cool is that I can pretty much get in touch with the local music scene digitally at any given moment, right? It's fairly accessible to get your music on Spotify these days. So that's something that 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it was a lot harder. You had to get physical copies of things. So I think there's definitely something to be said for what that has done for the reach of local music.
The democratization of music to a certain degree.
All right.
Yeah. Just made it easier for everyone to kind of get on there. And I'm actually going to do a quick plug for something that I never plugged on this show before. But it's a Spotify playlist that I made called Voices of Indy.
Love it.
It's supposed to go with the podcast.
Yeah.
I have 2 separate lists. So check this out. Seriously, I have Volume 1 and Volume 2. Volume 1 was actually what gave birth to the podcast. Volume 2 was my guests for Season 1.
Cool.
And if you want a taste of the different artists that are going on in Indianapolis, and you're like, oh, I want to know more about the different bands here, well, check out this podcast and check out the corresponding playlist. There are Voices of Indy Volume 1, Voices of Indy Volume 2. And you will be on there now, along with you're American Beech.
I'm American.
You're American with Angel Maker.
Yeah.
All the A's. We're starting at the beginning of the alphabet, all right?
Did you do that on purpose?
No. It's just the way that happened to work. Isn't that nice? Check out I never mention these. I never think about it, but I'm glad that the conversation went this way. So
glad Spotify got brought up. I didn't know about those either. That's cool.
Yeah. So and now you'll be on Volume 3 once which reminds me I need to get Volume 3 started. So and then you'll be hearing all the other bands that are on here, and see in the Volume 3 will be even deeper than Volumes 1 and 2 because, well, we're doing so much this year.
Yeah,
so much.
Absolutely.
This year. So, what else have you got going on?
Well, really, 2023 is the year of recording for me. Hopefully, as much as we were just talking about the gigs that we've been able to get this year too. I really want to get those 12 songs recorded. If nothing else, just to kind of move on as a songwriter, because like I said, I've been working on some of those for a long time, and so I'm excited to put out a record this year. I have vocal sessions in February, and then gonna kind of break it down from there into the various parts and put those tunes together and hopefully have something out on Spotify and other places very soon.
Awesome.
So
what is your time frame for something like this? I mean, it takes a while to do an album.
Yeah.
But like, how are you going about this? What's your process for recording the album?
It's right now I'm doing vocals first because to me that is the thing that I will notice the most if I try to do on my own. At my home studio, I will notice the vocal quality versus if I go somewhere professional and do it. And so I had some time in February. One of my friends who's an audio engineer had some time and just wanted to knock those vocals out because to me, that once that quality piece of the music is in, and it's also the part that as a songwriter is the least likely to change at this point. The lyrics and the melodies are very unlikely to change. So once those are in, then I kind of give myself some space to not rewrite the tunes, but really think about what they could sound like on a record versus what I've been limited to when performing them live. So I play bass on the when I do recordings. I'm going to put drums on a lot of the tunes, which a lot of folks have never heard my songs with, a full band. I think it's about 50-50 now. The record is going to be about 6 songs full band, 6 songs that are more folky, acoustic. So bought an electric guitar for the occasion. I'm really excited. I haven't had an electric guitar in years.
What'd you get?
I got a Guild. It's beautiful. Semi-hollow body. It's great.
Nice.
So I'm really enjoying playing electric again too. So.
Oh, sorry. I need to watch my explosives.
Oh. We're having too
close to the
We're
mic.
having too much fun.
We are having too much fun.
Okay.
So let's get. I want to continue talking about the recording process for you, and even the writing process. that you've been going through to get to this point. So you've basically come to 12 songs that you know that you want to write,
Mhm.
or that you know that you have written that are going to go on this album.
Yeah.
Are they chosen? Like, do you have these 12? Like, this is what it's going to be, or do you have like a set of 20 and you're going to pick 12?
Yeah. So I had at least 20 that we've got narrowed down to 12
Okay.
over the past. The interesting thing is that we've been thinking about doing this record for at least a year now. Um,
Very
so
cool.
the 12 songs I've chosen, maybe only 2 of them were written in 2022.
Oh, really?
Yeah, most of them are older. It's just
Okay.
it's been a while. So ultimately, I had a lot of tunes in the backlog that we went through, and in playing with my with the band, with the guitarist and drummer that I've been playing with, they've given me feedback. We'll try to do arrangements. We'll like them, we'll dislike them, and we'll kind of drop songs or keep going with them
Mhm.
as we see fit. And so it's been definitely a process of narrowing down from having a big bucket of songs to only the ones that I actually just recently cut a couple more that I felt like weren't really ready to
Mhm.
be put on the record. So I think it definitely is if there's anything I could say that I've learned over the years it's hard, but you have to be willing to cut something that isn't fitting what you're trying to do with a record. Give yourself more time to rewrite it, to edit it, to revisit it, because nothing is more frustrating than feeling like you left a song's potential on the table by recording it when you didn't really get
Yeah.
to flesh it out the way you wanted. For me, at least, that's really frustrating to feel like that song could have been better and I just settled because I didn't have time.
Sure.
So I don't have to worry about that anymore. So
Okay. So 3 questions I have for you.
Yeah.
I was thinking 2, but then it merged into 3. The first question is, will we hear Which Lines and I Don't Know Why on this album?
yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Will we hear other songs like those songs on this album?
You will. Yeah. And even what's funny is Which Lines is an electric guitar song.
Really?
Tonight was an acoustic version of it. So this is kind of special.
I do
actually.
feel special. Thank you. Yeah.
So that one will actually be electric, but like I said, some full band tunes, some get into the more rock and roll phases of my music taste, and then some really folky, like I Don't Know Why, which is very true to what it will sound like what you heard tonight. So
Okay, then one last question for you. What if you write a song so good during this song club of 2023 that you're like, guys,
it's got to go.
it's gotta
go in there.
go.
Yeah, I know. Look,
could it happen? Could
I'm
it
open.
happen?
Yeah, I'm nothing if not flexible. So
That's excellent. Well, I mean, I'm excited because then there's a chance that I could hear something that, even beforehand, like in
That's
its
right.
infancy.
Yeah, you'll get to hear the bones, the idea. Yeah.
True. Not only that, probably the first draft, because chances are it gets changed along the way.
Yep, absolutely. I've been sending my band members the songs that I've written
Oh,
so
really?
far,
Yeah,
and they're critiquing them too. We have a long-standing relationship of giving feedback, so no holds barred there. But
Awesome. Awesome. That's what you want in a band.
oh yeah, yeah,
You gotta love to have guys like that
Mhm.
surrounding you and giving you the kind of feedback that you need to succeed as a songwriter.
absolutely.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Oh, I don't want that. Remind me later. Gotta love technology. Gotta love technology. So tell me real quick, what do you have a plan for like release of this album? Like, do you have a name for the album? What should we be looking for? Or is it still such in its infancy that, these are things that are still being bandied about?
Yeah, I don't really have a name for the album. Just at this point, the one thing that I know I want to do, because I've never done this before, is I want to get at least some vinyls pressed of it. I know it's expensive, but
Very expensive.
I'm in the
I've
spring
looked.
for it. As an adult, I can finally waste some of my money on it. So,
I
but
hear
I've
ya.
never gotten to press any of my music on vinyl, and I've always
Mhm.
wanted to. So that's the only thing I can say that I've really thought about doing
Mhm.
uniquely this time, is I am going to get a few physical copies at least.
Yeah,
So.
I recently had mine. Do you press onto CD? How do you print to CD? How is that considered? Anyway, I recently
Yeah, I
had
don't know.
CDs made.
It's lasers, right? You etch.
Lasers. Um, and so, yeah, I recently had mine printed to CD, and I know they're basically coasters, but here's an AOL disc for you.
Yeah, yeah.
For people who are old enough to get that reference.
What do you play your CDs in now?
If anything, it would probably be my car.
Okay, your car still has a CD
My car
player.
still has a CD player.
Yeah.
I know that there are cars that don't now.
Mine
That's a
doesn't.
thing.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious to me because I think back to like my first car did not have a tape player.
Mhm.
Okay, so I mean there are cars today that have neither a CD player or a
Yeah.
tape player.
Did you have to get one of those cassette to CD adapters?
Oh.
Where you had the cassette that went in,
No,
but then it
because I
came
didn't have a
out to
cassette
your.
player. So what I
Yeah.
had to do is I actually had to buy a cassette player from Radio Shack.
Oh.
And I installed it, and it never worked properly. It actually it would always literally eat the first track of a tape.
Yeah.
So that's when I got the adapter for my Discman. Oh man, I'm aging myself here.
No, yeah. I feel like we're in line.
We're in the wheelhouse there.
Mhm.
Yeah, you feel my pain.
I do.
Yes. So yeah, I have CDs, and I hope to get vinyl made at some point.
Yeah.
Of not just my first album, but also my second album. But yeah, I keep on pricing these things out, and I'm just like, maybe someday.
The problem with so many of them is you have to buy a minimum, right? You have to they have a minimum order, so you have to find someone who's willing to take a small.
There are small batch
Yeah.
vinyl operations. You can get as little as 50 done.
Yeah. That's
And
probably the realm I'll be in for sure.
oh yeah, definitely. I feel
I
the
don't have
same.
50 friends anymore, so.
I laugh because it's true. It's so painfully true. That's what I'm hoping this podcast brings. I hope I get more friends because of this podcast.
We can all just sell our vinyl records to each other.
to
and
each
we'll be
other.
happy. Yeah.
Yes. No,
Love
that
it.
absolutely makes sense. That
You can have my
absolutely
$20.
makes sense. Oh man. Well, we've come to the point of the podcast where I need to actually do my promo for the Engine Room
Yeah.
because
They're
that's
amazing.
where we record.
That's right.
And they are fantastic. And I absolutely love the Engine Room because I get to do my podcast here every week, but I also get to record my own album here. And one of these days, I'm actually going to cut my own version of an Engine Room ad
Oh, yeah.
and talk about the fabulousness of this studio. But the Engine Room Recording Company, it is located in Broad Ripple Village, just north of downtown Indianapolis, and they specialize in making your projects go. Podcasters, bands, audio bookers, rappers, singers, songwriters, and everyone in between. The Engine Room Recording Company has the engineers, the equipment, and the environment to fuel your projects. Check out Broad Ripple's recording studio by visiting for more information on their services, artists they've recorded, and gear they have at engineroomrecordingcompany.com. And be sure to visit their Instagram page by searching up at Engine Room Recording Company. So, my last question for you is, what have I missed? We have covered a lot of material tonight.
Yeah.
But
No,
I
this
feel
was
like
great.
there's always something. I mean, what gigs do you have coming up that people can check you out? Where can they find you on Instagram? Well, not just Instagram, but I mean, where can they find you on the socials? Things like that. What have we forgotten to address here?
Yeah, I think we haven't really talked about the American Beech thing. So yeah, I perform under the name American Beech, mostly because I knew I wanted to have a band eventually. I didn't want to call the band Aaron Lucas and the whatevers. And so, actually, I remember that one. But
yeah, put that in the back of your mind.
So I was like, thinking of a band name real early on, even before we were a band, because I knew that's what I wanted eventually. So American Beech, but Beech like the tree, Beech.
I was going to say,
that's how you find me.
Yeah.
So American Beech Music on Instagram, or Am Beech Music. I think it's just AM and then Beech and music. I'm on Bandcamp. That's where I will probably put the recordings once those are done, along with Spotify, things like that. So, look me up, YouTube, American Beech. You can find me there if you search. So
I did that last night, actually.
Yeah, it's where a lot of my covers are.
Yes. You also keep them. By the way, I love your cover. We were while you were performing, I was actually having also a side conversation with one of the guys here at the Engine Room, and we were talking about Zach Braff movies.
Yeah.
And specifically soundtracks.
Uh-huh.
And you've done a cover of and the name is going to escape me now.
The Shins cover?
No, not just the Shins.
Not the Shins?
Not just the Shins, but the Where
the Imogen Heap song.
Yes.
Yeah. That
That's
song
it.
is so good. Yeah.
So good. And you did such a beautiful cover of that song.
Thank you. That's such a fun song to play. If you ever get a chance to look up the chords, it's really a cool. I really enjoy playing electronic songs in a folky way because there's no guitar, right?
Yeah,
There's no strumming to follow. You are sort of just when you find the chords, you get to make the song your own. And I think I really like doing covers like that where it's kind of jarring at first that it's so
It was
different.
actually,
Yeah.
but I still enjoyed it a lot.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Keep on doing stuff like that, and your original stuff, which I do enjoy.
Appreciate it.
I do enjoy. So yes, thank you for explaining American Beech. Is there anything else that we should cover here?
I don't think so. No.
Because I don't want to leave any stone unturned.
February 17th is the next time to come hang out with us.
Yeah. Porter Books and Bread.
Be really fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Tickets will be $15. I can tell you all that much. They're just not available yet.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all.
You'll have to ask. I have a random connection to your next guest, John Boyle.
Oh, you do?
He and I were in a band when we were in high school.
You went to high school with John Boyle?
I went to a close high school to him, and we were in a band called Saygrave when we were in high school for a short amount of time. He played guitar, and I played guitar. There was 3 guitars in that band.
Nice.
It was insane. But you'll have to ask him if he remembers it. It was a really, really fun time. I remember doing like 2 or 3 gigs together before it all split up and we all went off to college. But
that is awesome.
I thought that
will
was
have
funny.
to bring that up. I will bring that up. And you actually, thank you. You mentioned who my next guest is going to be. Next week, John Boyle will be my guest. He is also in the band Malingo, who will also, that was the other band in March.
Yep.
Malingo will be here in March. They have a gig coming up. It's this, well, by the time this airs, the gig will have already happened. But still, point is, they got a gig. Check out Malingo. Check out John Boyle. Great stuff there. And he will be my guest next week. Aaron, thank you for being on this week. I really do appreciate it.
Thanks, Josh.
You've been a wonderful, wonderful guest.
Yeah, appreciate that.
You're welcome. And that's going to do it for me. That's going to do it for Aaron. American Beech is the name of the band, is the name of the music. And check it out when the album comes out. Are you?
That's right.
Are you on Spotify yet?
No.
No, not yet.
No.
Okay. He's going to be. And he's going to be on my Voices of Indy Volume 3 list, so be sure to check that out when it's out. And that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening. Bye.